Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, and welcome to episode number 54 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for ECW for Tuesday, the 15th of October, 2024. We're continuing the road to the Auckland Assault pay-per-view, and tonight, in our star-studded episode of ECW, we are going to find out who's going to wrestle Adam Cole Baby at the show. It's going to be Roman Reigns and Warden, a huge singles match months in the making, one-on-one, in the main event tonight, plus 3 championship matches, the Women's World title on the line as Florence defends against Kelsey Cook, Sasha Banks defends the $1 million championship she was handed last week for the first time against Blair Davenport, and Joman get their rematch against the Gorillas of Destiny. So yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start the show. Funny story is, I actually forgot to move this segment, it seems, but it's perfectly fine being the opening segment of the show, so we open up the show with it, sure. Roman Reigns pulls up in his big car. Jimmy Uso steps out, and he's there going, no yeet. He's cheering Roman on. He goes, tonight, you're gonna get that shot, my tribal chief, to become the number 1 contender. And as they enter the arena, they meet Jay. And Jay's just stood there. Him and Roman, they glare across at each other. And Jay goes, I should have been the one to beat Adam Cole at high voltage. But I came up short. So, Oos, if I can't do it, good luck tonight. And he offers a handshake out to his cousin Roman. And Roman, of course, does shake Jey Uso's hand. And enters the arena as Jay sort of watches on as Jimmy and Roman walk past him to go to the Bloodline locker room. $84. I'll tell you, that's pretty good, actually. Based on these fucking performances and the chemistry note, this could actually be even better than this. But it's Sasha Banks defending the $1 million championship against Blair Davenport. We go 17-46, and Sasha does pick up the win with the interest rate, making the first defense of the belt. So yeah, she didn't earn the title because she was gifted it, but she has proven that she deserves to at least keep on to it for now. And yeah, 91 for Sasha, 84 for Blair Davenport. And yeah, Blair comes up short. She puts in a good showing, but of course Sasha Banks is Sasha Banks. Kim McQueen's out there probably doing some shenanigans as well. But of course Florence can't come out to help Blair because Florence has a title match later on tonight. We then see Karrion Kross backstage. He's still down in the dumps after, high voltage where he was forced to quit. Then Joe Gacy walks up and he's all smart. He goes, damn, Karrion, I saw what happened to you back at high voltage. Sucks. I really thought you had what it took to come out on top against Moose. And Karrion sort of glares across at him and he goes, I never once wanted your help. And Gacy goes, well, you would have lost a lot sooner if it wasn't for me. I actually helped you pick up some wins in that best of 7 series. So you should be thanking me, actually, Karrion, if you've got that emotion inside your body. And Karrion just sort of rolls his eyes. He goes, whatever. And Gacy goes, well, guess what? I spoke to Mr. Heyman, and tonight we're going to have a tag team match. You and I teaming up. Karrion goes, you've got to be joking. It was a one-time thing, kid. Gacy goes, well, clearly not, because later on tonight, it's us against the Grizzled Young Veterans. See you out there. And he walks off, and Karrion looks frustrated. But yeah, Joe Gacy still lingering around Karrion. We then cut to Kelly Kincaid. Her guest is Adam Cole Baby, the ECW World Champion. Just Adam, it's been a wild couple of weeks for you. First, defending your championship against Jey Uso back at high voltage. And now tonight we're going to find out who's next in line for your championship. Who's going to face you for the title in Auckland. Will it be Warden or will it be Roman Reigns? And then Adam goes, tonight's a big night for the future of this championship, Kelly. It's going to find out which one of these two, meathead top guys is going to be the next to be embarrassed by Adam Cole Bebe and the Paragon. Actually, last week was also a big night for me. I nearly mentioned the Paragon just now. But last week, Dolph, he said some things that got me thinking. And to know that my Paragon, this group that I created, are out there making surprise plans for me, well, that motivates me more than anything else I could possibly think of. Outside of, keeping this championship. So, whether it be Roman Reigns, or whether it be Warden, you look at both those guys, I think both those guys are going to be the favourite heading into Auckland. Well, there's a reason why Adam Cole Bebe is the ECW champion and they're not. That's because I'm better than both of them. Whether you like it or not, I will still be the champion. And then this story time with Adam Cole Bebe will continue. Kenny goes, there is one more question I did want to ask you, before you left. He's like, yeah, come on, I'm all ears. Because last week we saw you, there's a weird message on the wall. It's telling you to remember who you are, Have you got to the bottom of what that was for? And Adam Cole's demeanour immediately changes. Goes, Kelly, I sort of pushed that to the back of my mind. There are a lot of people that could be from, my first thought is, maybe it was the Wyatt 7. They've been running around here trying to fix people like that. But I'm telling you right now, the Paragon, they ain't scared of the Wyatt 7. So if those spooky bitches want to come for my championship after Roman or after Warden, then be my guest. And he walks off. And see Solo and the Tongans. They're walking out for their title match. It's the Tongans against Strowman. And Solo says, high voltage. Saw the crowning of the new ECW World Tag Team Champions. When Tama and Tonga finally put that joke of a reign by that joke of a champion Joe Hendry to bed. And as for us, as for the bloodline, it only marked the beginning. A lot of people saw me lose to Roman Reigns and thought that was it. But it's fine. Because this bloodline goes deeper than anyone can imagine. And when the time comes, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But as for right now, as for tonight, it's time for us to once again make an example out of those who wronged us. 75. The rematch, Joe Hendry and Braun Strowman against the Guerrillas of Destiny, does end, of course, with the Tongans pinning. It says Joe Hendry. Do I want to be Joe Hendry, actually? Oh, yeah, it can be Joe, actually. That's probably the better idea. To not pin Braun right now. But yes, Solo takes Braun out anyway on the outside behind the referee's back. And they hit Guerrilla Warfare on Joe Hendry to pin him to retain the championships in 13-23. 47 for Tonga Loa, 63 for Tama Tonga, 66 for Joe Hendry, 75 for Braun Strowman. And yeah, there's not a lot of suspense in this one. The Tongans do retain, and they do continue their reign as the ECW Tag Team Champions, continuing to be a thorn in the side, or, a thumb in the throat of our beloved Joeman. But yeah, Solo, he says things aren't done between him and Roman's bloodline. Let's see what that's all about. We then see the ECW Television Champion, Kyle O'Reilly. He's chilling backstage. When a door behind him opens, a bright light emits out from the room, and out steps the Messiah and his apostle Apollo Crews. And Moose, he spots Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle's like, hey. And Moose goes, well, if I ever. The god Kyle O'Reilly in the flesh. He goes, what do you want, Moose? He goes, well, I, the Messiah, I'm a huge fan of yours, I saw last week the gods Adonis Drew try to step up to you. And quite frankly, Ashanti's a guy who could preach the gods Adonis truth to everybody around here, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here for you, Kyle. What do you say to an omnipotent showdown? The God and the Messiah. And Carl goes, well, as the television champion, I will defend this championship against anybody who wants a title opportunity at any time. So, how about next week? And Apollo goes, I've got a better idea. As the apostle of the Messiah. Next week, if you can find a friend or a follower of God that's not us, and we can have a tag team match. Me and my Messiah against the God and his devoted follower. Carl goes, I think I know just the guy. I'll see you then. And then they walk off. And Kyle O'Reilly, he then jogs off to go and find the person he wants to be his tag team partner next week. We then see Kelly Kincaid backstage, and she approaches Sasha Banks, and she goes, Sasha, congratulations on making the first ever defense of the Women's $1 Million Championship. She goes, oh, Kelly, I'm so glad you said that, because this whole week I've been dealing with idiots online, blocking people. It goes a long way, but some of these people still sneak through the cracks. All these jealous haters, they're like, Sasha, you don't deserve to be the $1 Million Champion. Sasha, you didn't earn that championship. I did. By being the most revolutionary woman in this company of the past decade, the reason why women's wrestling's in the state that it is right now is because of me. So if anybody deserves to be the first to hold this, it's the CEO. Okay? It's not my fault that Kiana James is the only person around here who sees my brilliance. Now, the Women's World Championship tournament didn't go the way I wanted. But now, it's not the guy that makes the champion. It's not the championship that makes the guy, Kelly. It's the guy that makes the championship. And well, as long as this $1 Million Championship is on my shoulder, I mean, just look at it. Quite literally, this is the most valuable prize in the women's division. Florence can keep her championship because I've got mine. And it's never going anywhere. It's my baby girl, Kelly. And nobody, past, present, or future, can do what I do. We then see Florence in her... She's got the belt around her waist. She's always like shaking her head as she watches Sasha's promo on TV. She goes, okay, like good for you having that championship, but this is the real prize around here. As long as it's on my shoulder, it always will be. Then Blair Davenport walks up, and Florence like, hey, I saw you came up short against Sasha earlier on tonight. But you did really good in that match. And Blair goes, next time in the ring for a change of opportunity, it's going to come out a whole lot different. I'm going to come out on top next time. And Florence goes, well, I've got a defense against Kelsey coming up now. And, I plan on winning it, obviously, but once I have won, I do have something I want to talk to Paul Heyman about you and about Auckland. And then Florence does walk off. And Blair's confused as Florence walks off, and Ruby Riott walks into frame. She puts her hand on Blair's shoulder. She goes, that's a very confident Women's World Champion we've got here on ECW. It almost brings a tear to my eye how much this championship, this division means to her. But what about you, Blair? She wasn't out there tonight for you. You got screwed over because of the numbers game, because you got Kim McQueen, you got Indy Hartwell in Sasha's corner, but she was too busy looking to defend her championship that she couldn't even make time to help you win yours. Now, she's going to go talk to Paul Heyman, and she sounds like she wants to give you a pity championship match in her home country. Now why is that? Is it because she's a good friend, and she wants to give you the opportunity to compete in front of one of your hometown fans? Or is it because she's a bad friend and she sees you as an easy challenger to be, considering you just lost to Sasha Banks tonight? Those are the two options. You can be positive, or you can be negative. Am I an angel, or am I a demon? That's not up to me to decide. It's entirely up to you. $84. That's as good as Blair and Sasha, so I'll take that. They also have pretty good chemistry, or great chemistry even. And Kelsey, one of the benefactors of the tournament, really. Sort of upping her stock. But she does come up short here tonight. Florence does put her down with the rain flow in 14:05. She gives it a good go, but in the end, Florence does walk out still the ECW Women's Champion. 92 for Florence, 74 for Kelsey Cook. And yeah, 2 84 rated women's title matches tonight, you know. Good job, girls. Again, I said it in the comments on last week's ECW. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but like, I'm happy with where the ECW women's division is right now compared to where it was when we started the tournament. Which is why, knowing that whole time that the finish was going to be a finger poke of doom, I still didn't really mind. Because, like, it's helped me get a better grasp of who's over and who's not, and who's good and who's not on this division. So, yeah. And also with the introduction of the $1 Million Championship now, that's more women that can actually get spotlight on ECW. You know, there are still a bunch of women on this brand that aren't really doing much at the moment. You got like Kushida, Ivy Nile, Sonya, Liv, but you know, that's fine. Backstage, well, not backstage, a little video promo by Austin Theory. And it's recapping last week where he was facing Sheamus. And, you know, he kicked Sheamus in the balls and got himself disqualified. I'm sure people are wondering why I did what I did to Sheamus last week. Now, Sheamus is a guy for like 15 years around here who's been one of the top guys here on WWE TV. You put him on television, you know what you're getting. You're getting a classic bout. Because only Sheamus can do that. It's 2024, and Austin Theory is still being booked in matches where I'm seen as a prospect. I'm seen as a rising star. It took Sheamus 6 months to become WWE Champion. I'm in year 4 since being called up, and I've still not got a single championship in my hands. Sure, I took some time away to hone my craft, but I'm back and better than ever. You look at a guy like Cody Rhodes, a guy like Drew McIntyre, all these people who left and came back and became WWE Champion. I'm the next name on that list. And so a guy like Sheamus, thinking he can walk over me, I ain't letting him have that. Because he was the unfortunate victim in the wrong place of the wrong time. Because I've had my mind cleared. I've been awoken, and I know damn well who I am. I'm Austin Theory. I'm finally the finished article. And I am a future world champion. The Now. Then see Kevin Owens backstage. Kyle O'Reilly walks up to him and goes, "Hey Kev, how you doing?" He goes, "You know, another backstage week. No matches for me tonight. You know, I heard you're not defending your television championship tonight in an open challenge, so it's kind of smart because doing it every week will quickly wear you down. I've seen that happen over the years. But it also means that you're kind of ducking me, aren't you, Kyle?" He says that in jest, of course. Of course, he says that in jest. And Kyle goes, "Listen, Kev. I need you to help me with something. Next week, me and Moose, the Mooseiah, are going to take in a battle that can only be described in the Bible. And he's going to have his apostle Apollo Crews by his side. So I need a partner to team up next week against Moose and Apollo." He goes, "Hey, say no more, Kyle. I'd love to team with you against Moose and Apollo Crews next week." And Kyle goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, you know, that's what friends are for. Friends don't ask each other for favors. Friends help each other. But I will hope that hopefully you remember that I did come to your aid, should an opportunity arise that I may want myself." And Kyle goes, "Sure, Kevin." And he walks off. And then Kyle O'Reilly just, we link on his face. When he sort of like turns around, he like sees something off screen. His eyes like sort of like squint and he's like trying to read something. He's like, "What does that even mean?" It pans across and there written on the wall, in the same font as the one Adam Cole saw last week, it just said, "God isn't real." And Carl just shakes his head and goes, "Huh, weird," and walks off. 78. Holy shit, that's pretty good. The Grizzled Young Vets, after getting a win last week, pick up another win here tonight. They beat Joe Gacy and Karrion Kross because of some dysfunction. You know, Joe Gacy's doing all his shit, and he tags Karrion Kross in. Karrion, you know, gets caught off guard and pinned with the Ticket to Mayhem by the GYV. 77 for Jagger Reed, 73 for Rip Fowler, 68 for Joe Gacy, 64 for Karrion Kross. After the match, the Grizzled Young Vets are celebrating when they are the next victims to be jumped from behind by the New Musketeers, Nakamura and Shibata, take the Grizzled Young Veterans down. As Zack Sabre sort of turns around, he looks at Shibata. They have a little brief face-to-face when, as they go to, I say brawl, but it's Zack Sabre Jr. and Shibata, so it'll probably be like they go to grapple each other to the ground. But as that happens, Mustafa Ali takes a chair to the back of ZSJ. He drags ZSJ to the outside. He starts attacking Zack on the outside as Nakamura hits the Kinshasa on James Drake. Or Jagger Reed, sorry. Shibata kicks Rip Fowler. And Ali looks into the ring. He sort of nods his head at Shinsuke and Shibata. They slide out of the ring. They leave up the ramp. And Ali, he hops onto the announce table, arms out wide. And he goes, "A true leader can get people by his side with just the mere promise of opportunity. Thank you to Shinsuke and Katsuyori tonight. They're the first, and I'm sure many, many, many who will help me, Mustafa Ali, lead ECW to the future." So yeah, they're not stable. Again, I feel like I have to specify this every time. No, they just took out GYV because, they're a tag team, and Shibata and Shinsuke are trying to take out all the tag teams, and them and Mustafa Ali have a common enemy, basically. I say enemy like Shinsuke and Shibata have enemies. They just sort of attack whoever the fuck they want because they're cool. Okay, did I forget to put a next week graphic on? Did I announce anything for next week? Yes. Kyle O'Reilly and Kevin Owens against Moose and Apollo Crews, but apparently I didn't put the segment in to run down next week's card. But yeah, that's the card anyway. It's Moose and Apollo Crews against Kevin Owens and Kyle O'Reilly, and I feel like I announced another match. No, I don't. Actually, no, I didn't. So yeah, just that tag match we've got announced for next week. But we have our main event here now. It's Warden and Roman Reigns. It gets an 82. The wrestling gets an 87, and the crowd gets a 91. But for some reason, the segment gets an 82. And Roman's getting all fired up. He's doing them corner clotheslines. He's hitting the big dog best hits on Warden. Warden takes Roman Reigns down with a clothesline. He goes to powerbomb him. Roman kicks out. Warden's on his feet. He charges at Roman into the corner. Roman rolls out of the way. Warden bangs himself into the post. Roman locks up. Superman punch. Warden staggered. Superman punch again. Warden staggered. And a third, and down he goes. Roman goes back into the corner. He gives an ooh-wah. And then, as Warden gets his feet, he drags the referee in front of the spear. The referee gets speared by the tribal chief. As a bump in a Roman Reigns match, I know, you're shocked. But then, as you know, the referee stays down. Warden starts getting the upper hand on Roman. He goes to hit the powerbomb. Roman jumps out of that. Superman punch again. He spears Warden down. He covers him, but the referee's down. He then backs back into the corner as the referee starts to get to his feet. He gives a big ooh-wah. And Roman the Solo Sokoa pops up, sticks a thumb in Roman Reigns' throat. And then Roman staggers into a big powerbomb by Warden. And he pins the OTC. And Warden is the man who will be going to Auckland to challenge Adam Cole for the ECW World Championship. 84 for Roman, 89 for Warden. So yeah, the man who handed Adam Cole the belt, basically, back at One Night Stand, will be the man challenging him for the belt next Saturday in Auckland. Next week's actually the go-home show. That's come around a lot quickly than I thought it would. But yes, Warden does leave victorious when the Bloodline get into the ring. The Bloodline being Solo and the Tongans. And they start mauling Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso sort of rushes out. He has to rush past Warden to get there. Warden sort of just glares at him and shakes his head as he walks past. And Jey Uso gets involved. He takes the fight to Tonga Loa. Tama Tonga jumps him. The Tongans 2-on-1 Jimmy And Solo's still got Roman grounded. He sticks another thumb in Roman's throat. You know, we're getting the heat segment, and the crowd is getting all restless. Yeet, 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 yeet. We had this similar situation before SummerSlam, when Jimmy was the one in peril, and the crowd chanted for Jey Uso, and he eventually did show up to make the save. And the same thing happens tonight. His music hits. He rushes out to the ring to a huge pop. Tonga Loa runs to meet him. Jey super kicks Tonga Loa. He spears Tonga Loa. Tama Tonga charges at him. He ducks the clothesline. He gets a Jey Uso spear as well. And Jey is all fired up. Solo turns around. He gets a double super kick from the Usos. Falls to his knees. Another double super kick to from the Usos, and Solo falls to the outside. And then both the Usos all look at each other. And they turn their heads slowly as Roman Reigns gets his feet in the corner. And Roman, he looks across at Jimmy and Jey. And Jey Uso throws the one up in the air. Roman throws the one back up. Jimmy throws the one up as well. Huge pop. And then Jey Uso grabs a microphone. And he goes, "Hey, Solo. You say the things ain't over between your bloodline and ours? That's fine by us, Zeus. 'Cause tonight, you may have got the one up over the OTC. But next Saturday night, it'll be you three against the OG3 in a 6-man tag team match. Yeet." Yeah. Roman and the Usos against Solo and the Tongans at Auckland Assault next Saturday night. So yeah, the card for that on the ECW show is now opening up. We've got the World Title match there, Adam Cole and Warden, and a big Bloodline 6-man tag team match. And that ends the show. Gets us a 78. Tonga Loa was used far too much. Understandable. But what matters more is what you thought of the show. Perhaps you thought Tonga Loa being all over the show made it a 100, because I sure did. And I'll see you next time for SmackDown. See you then.